In the meantime, as we wait for this, let's get back to that jobs report. 222,000 jobs added in the month of June. That was better than expected. Joining us now, Labor Secretary Alex Acosta. And Secretary, thank you for joining us. The headline number, very good. 222,000, much better than what we expected. What's your overall take? What areas would you like to see improvement?
Well, it was a very good number, and importantly, we also saw a revision for the April and May numbers by an additional about 50,000 jobs. We saw growth in mining, which is important. We saw growth in financial services, and we also saw growth in healthcare. Looking forward, we continue to focus on earnings growth. We saw moderate gains, about 2.5%, which is higher than inflation. But obviously, we want to make sure that Americans have good jobs and safe jobs, and wage growth means more money for them to take home.
And what is, in your mind, holding back wage growth? I mean, theoretically, with such a tight job market, wages should start to rise, right?
They should start to rise, and that's what you hear. There's one interesting part of today's report, which is the number of Americans in part-time jobs that are looking for full-time jobs. And that number is still a little bit high. That number is around 3.3%. And that's important because there's still a little bit of slack in the economy. As we look forward, that's a number that I'm going to be following to see when the market really tightens and we start to see upward pressure on wages.
Now, how much of this is being impacted by the lack of progress on the president's agenda, the loosening of regulations, tax cuts, and so on? This is all happening with none of that going forward in Congress. If that can be accomplished, if the president can get his agenda through, what's your estimate of what that will have, the impact that will have on the jobs situation?
Well, the president will get the agenda through, and you're seeing record highs in the stock market. You're seeing very high levels of consumer confidence, all of which reflect the fact that Americans are feeling good about the economy. They're feeling good about where we're going. And that's just going to get better and better as the agenda does go through. One important area that the president focused on in June that I think is having that is slowing growth a little bit, and something that we need to focus on is the skills gap. There are currently 6 million job openings, and employers are saying, we want to hire more, but we can't find individuals with the skills that we need. Last week, there was a CEO that was here at the Department of Labor saying, I need to hire 94 welders, and I'm losing out $50 million in revenue because I can't find welders. I'll pay for them. I'll pay for them to learn the skills that I need, and I'll educate them if they are willing to come in and do welding. And that's just one small example of what we're seeing across the economy with 6 million unfilled jobs. The skills gap is real and something we at the Department of Labor are very focused on.
And how do we address that? I know the president has talked about this. The president has actually praised Germany for the way it handles these apprenticeships, these technical schools that provide these young people with the skills they need to make, quite frankly, a very good living. Can we get that infrastructure in place sooner rather than later?
Well, the president last month signed an executive order setting up the mechanism to start that infrastructure. And here at the Department of Labor, we're working on it, right away. We've already started getting that infrastructure in place. And it's so critical because, Americans should learn the skills that get them real jobs. Higher education has an obligation to teach Americans skills that get them real jobs. And you see the success of that program abroad in Germany and Switzerland and England. But if you look here in the United States, individuals that graduate apprenticeships have an average starting salary of $60,000 a year. That is a family-sustaining wage, and that's actually higher than a college graduate. And so we need to respect work, and we need to give individuals the skills that they need, because 6 million open jobs is 6 million too many.
Last one for you, Mr. Secretary. President Trump tweeting this about the economy, quote, stock market at all-time high, unemployment at lowest level in years, wages will start going up, he says, and our base has never been stronger. We talked about this before. When can we see wages going up? And would you agree with his overall summation of the economy?
I would agree with the overall summation. Look, we had great news today. Robust job growth. upward revisions for the last 2 months that make the last 2 months even better than when they were reported. The job openings are going to allow Americans to get new and better jobs, especially with his apprenticeship program. And wage earnings will increase as the economy continues to tighten, particularly as the number of part-time to full-time jobs, as the number of part-time jobs convert to full-time jobs.
And, you know, we always talk about the importance of small businesses in this economy, such great job creators and the engine room, if you like, of the economy. Have you seen the confidence of small business owners improve, or are they getting frustrated with the lack of progress in Washington?
Not only have I seen the confidence improve, but if you look at the surveys of confidence among small business owners, they are confident. They are very positive. They're investing in the economy. Just last week, I was talking with an individual who was saying they know a small business owner that wasn't going to open some franchises, and after November decided to open 2 additional franchises and grow their small business in Louisiana. And that's just one small example of small business owners saying, we feel really good about the economy and we're going to grow the economy by opening up more businesses.
All right. Secretary Acosta, thank you so much for spending the time with us this morning on what is certainly the headline numbers very impressive indeed. Mr. Acosta, thank you.